Yo, Shabbat Shalom. Well, today is Shabbat, but by the time you watch this, it might not be. However, Shabbat Shalom anyway. Again, another phenomenal teaching that went forth today and a bunch of confirmations. So yesterday, on my way home from work, actually while I was at work too, I kept hearing Ruach HaKodesh say the word servant, like over and over and over and over and over and over again. But then on the way home from work, it's like in my mind, he allowed me to see exactly what he was talking about. And he began speaking. He was talking about how, so I tithe. I believe in tithing. But then he took it a step further when he was ministering to me, and he said, well, it all belongs to me. And to be honest with you, I was surprised at how I responded, because I would have thought that I would have been like, but I didn't. I was like, you're right. It does all belong to you. I mean, we give you the 10th, and you're very gracious in allowing us to keep the 90, but in all actuality, it all belongs to you. And like, I had this overwhelming sensation to just give him everything. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to exalt myself by any means, because trust and believe, a year ago or even a few months ago, that would not have been my my response to him. So this is me constantly falling on my face and allowing him to prune me and to mold me and shape me. Okay, you guys, I want you to understand, like, it is possible even to a sinner like me. I'm just gonna let you know, but it's still to praise Abba Yahuwah, because you guys, like, servant, that, and then the word that went forth today, they didn't say the word servant, but basically they were talking about coming up out of Babylon, letting go of things that don't matter. They were talking about how the things of Babylon are not important to us, such as money or 401ks. You remember how I told you that when I gave my car back to Volkswagen, at first I was like, well, how's it going to affect my credit? And Ruach HaKodesh said, don't worry about that. That's the things of Babylon. Like, literally touching on so many things as confirmation of the things that I heard Ruach HaKodesh personally speaking to me about my walk with Abba Yahuwah. So it was and like I said, so I just felt the need to come on here and talk to you guys about that servant. Like, really sit and think about what a servant is, because a servant literally is given something in order to carry out the will of their master. So if you had an earthly master, okay, and they handed you a sack of money and said, go into town. Yeah, I'm thinking biblically, like during biblical times, but they said, go into town and purchase, I don't know, wine or barley or whatever it is that they told you to go purchase. Would you go into town and purchase what they said with the money that they handed you? Or would you look at that sack of money and be like, I'm rich, and then like go buy yourself a camel, or, you know, in modern terms, go buy yourself a car or an outfit, or, you know, something for yourself, and then come back to your master's house like, yo, thanks, appreciate it, folk. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what we be doing. But a good servant is going to take what they were given and carry out the will of their master. In this case, Yahuwah Zavaot. Like, he's literally giving us blessings. He's blessing us with things in order to carry out his will. And me giving back my car wasn't necessarily so I would have extra money in my pocket. It was so I wouldn't have my mind wouldn't be focused on, oh, I got to pay this bill. I got to pay this bill. I got to pay this bill. And now I'm free to focus on whatever it is that he wants me to do, because he's going to provide whatever it is I need. But that's just it. In that same scenario with the master giving the money to the servant and sending them into town to go purchase whatever it is he wants them to purchase. Like, he literally, the master didn't say, go into town and purchase this and not give the money. Like, the master provided that servant with what they needed to carry out the will. So ask yourself, do you not have certain things because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now, what do I mean by that? Is what you're doing his will? That's a better way to look at it. Because if it was his will, you wouldn't have to ask for the provision. It would be given. Look at Nehemiah, or Nehemiah is really how you pronounce it. Look at Nehemiah. When he went back to build the walls of Jerusalem, he didn't ask for the materials. He asked the king, Nebuchadnezzar, wrong king, Artaxerxes. He asked him to send him back with papers so on the way back to Jerusalem, he could get the wood that he needed to rebuild the walls. I mean, literally when he arrived on the scene, he had his provision for the things that he needed to do, for his task at hand. He didn't get there and then start a GoFundMe, or, he didn't beg for money on YouTube. Oh, I gotta go do this. God told me to do this. Now I need your money to do it. Like, he didn't do that. Those people that you see doing this are not in the will of Yahuwah. He never sends you on a task without provision. Never. That would make him, first and foremost, he would not be a good father if he did that. Second of all, he would be a slave driver instead of a father. Like, come on now. Think about a bad boss. A bad boss would do that to you. Hasatan. That's what Hasatan does. That's not what Abba Yahuwah does. Okay, you guys? So servant. If you are truly serving him and not yourself or Hasatan, then please understand you'll have the provision for it. And the provision is not for you. It's for his will. So all of the things that I've been receiving recently, and I'm not going to speak of them, but all the things I've been receiving recently, it's like he was preparing me mentally to understand that these things are for my will, my being Yahuwah, to be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay, you guys? So servant. Are you a servant? Are you a good servant? Let's put it that way. Are you a good servant? Are you spending your blessings on Yahuwah's will and what he told you to? Or are you getting it and splurging it like the prodigal son? Now, the prodigal son, when he came back, he was welcomed back in. So if you are living a prodigal life, you can be received back in. You need to stop doing what you're doing, though, because notice the prodigal son came back, which means he stopped doing what he was doing. Okay. Anyway, I love you guys. Until next time. Shalom Aleichem.